I'm here to tell you the Indiana Fever is now contenders for the WNBA championship.
Did you catch the latest news in the WNBA? The Indiana Fever didn't just add a player to their roster, they made a major statement. DeWanna Bonner, the 6'4" scoring powerhouse, has joined the Fever, and now every other team is on notice. You might be wondering, how big of a deal is this really? Let me explain. Bonner is no ordinary player. She's an offensive force and a defensive presence, and she's now teaming up with Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and a highly anticipated rookie, Caitlin Clark. The Fever just went from being underdogs to legitimate title contenders overnight.
The Fever are showing that they want that ring now because they have just signed DeWanna Bonner to the Indiana Fever for the 2025 season.
Did you see what the Indiana Fever just pulled off? They didn't just sign a player, they snagged a superstar. DeWanna Bonner is now suiting up in Fever colors, and let me tell you, this is a game changer. You might be thinking, okay, another player signing. What's the big deal? But here's where it gets really interesting. Let's break down who DeWanna Bonner really is.
This is huge. She can shoot from three. She can push through the paint. She has length. Now we are not short on shooters in Indiana, let me tell you. And this next season is going to be absolute cinema.
We're talking about a 6'4" powerhouse who has been a dominant force in the league for years. She's not just tall, she's incredibly versatile. Bonner can play both guard and forward, creating significant challenges for opposing teams. And here's the thing, she's not just limited to one skill. She can shoot from long range, drive to the basket, and excel on defense. It's as if the Fever just added 3 players in one.
Her stats now. She is a forward guard, forward being amazing for the Indiana Fever. She is 6'4", 14.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. She was all defensive team 2015, all rookie 2009. Wow. All WNBA 2015 and 2020, and 6th Woman of the Year in 3 different years.
You might be asking yourself that she's past her prime. Well, think again. Last season, Bonner posted stats that would impress even the youngest players in the league. We're talking 14.9 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. And here's the kicker. She's doing all of this in her 3rd decade. For Bonner, age is just a number, and she shows it every time she steps on the court.
Saying that I think she definitely has at least another good year in the tank, as a lot of people were thinking she might retire. But her numbers are not lying. Her numbers were very good for last season. She went into a bit of a slump, but overall, she was a sniper.
But it's not just about the stats. Bonner brings invaluable championship experience. She's been there, done that, and now she's ready to bring that winning mindset to the Fever. Can you believe the Fever managed to land her? It's like they found the perfect formula for instant success. Coaches are already praising her impact, with one even noting her ability to shoot from long range and power through the paint. Indiana's roster is stacked with shooters now. That's right, the Fever just became a whole lot more formidable.
And for last season, her stats. So she did go through like a little bit of a slump last season, but for the majority of the season, she was just shooting and sinking. 33 minutes, 26 points, 29-16, 35-10, 33-29. Around here is when she kind of went through a weird little slump, like 6 points in 36 minutes, but that was not her regular gameplay for the season. She is really solid. 33 minutes, 29 points, 36, 24, 31, 23. I mean, 40 minutes, 22 points. She has some gas left in the tank.
And let's not forget about defense. Bonner has been named to the all-defensive team before, and her length and skills are sure to create serious problems for opposing offenses. The Fever didn't just improve on one side of the ball. They've upgraded their entire game.
This is the perfect signing. DeWanna Bonner is the best possible player the Indiana Fever could have gotten. And as much as people like the Fever don't need Bonner, yes, they freaking do. You can never, every team needs a 6'4", 15 point per game, good defensive all-star who is a vet, who is a champion, and is positionally versatile. Literally every team in the WNBA could use DeWanna Bonner.
Here's the crazy part. Some people thought Bonner was starting to slow down last season, but then she'd go out and drop 20-plus points, reminding everyone why she's still one of the top players in the game. She's not just joining the Fever, she's coming in with something to prove, ready to silence the doubters once and for all.
And DeWanna Bonner is a superb signing. An absolutely superb signing for the Indiana Fever. And a signing that makes so much sense, a signing that puts them over the edge and puts them right into that 1A, 1B in contender category. I put them right up there with the Lynx and the Liberty. I think they might have a better bench than the Liberty. There is a possibility of that.
Remember when everyone counted the Fever out? Well, those days are behind them. Let's take a step back for a moment. Last season, the Fever, let's just say they weren't exactly intimidating anyone. But then something shifted. It began with small moves, laying the foundation for something much bigger, and now we're witnessing a super team come together right before our eyes. You might be thinking, super team? The Fever? Really? But hear me out.
DeWanna Bonner has signed for the Fever. The Fever. Champion, they have to go into the championship favorites. They actually have to. They have to. By re-signing Kelsey Mitchell and trading for Sophie Cunningham and signing Bonner and Tasha Howard, the Fever have catapulted into title conversation.
This isn't just about DeWanna Bonner. It's about the carefully crafted strategy the Fever's front office has been quietly putting into place. They've got Aaliyah Boston, a player who's already turning heads and earning widespread praise. They've continued to develop Kelsey Mitchell, transforming her into a scoring threat that keeps defenders on edge. But they weren't done there.
The Fever biggest needs in 2024 was depth and playoff experience. They added an experienced coach and 3 veterans with the combined 5 WNBA championships. Caitlin Clark will be contending for a championship in her second year in the league.
The Fever front office was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. They brought in Natasha Howard, a seasoned veteran with championship experience. Then they added Sophie Cunningham, a sharpshooter who can knock down shots from deep. And now, they brought in DeWanna Bonner, rounding out their lineup with another game changer.
As far as pushing through the paint, she is also deceivingly good at that. But is she the most powerful power forward that could possibly have been cultivated? I'm not sure. This is our 2025 season. This is not like in 2026, everyone becomes a free agent. So I think that this 2025 season is almost like a standalone year just to see how everybody gels and meshes and what they can do with this Indiana Fever team now.
It's like they found the perfect formula for instant success, but here's where it gets really exciting. This isn't just about stacking a roster with stars and hoping it clicks. The Fever have carefully built a team that fits together like a puzzle. You got the young guns like Boston and Mitchell, eager to prove themselves, alongside veterans like Howard and Bonner, who know exactly what it takes to win it all. It's the ideal blend of youthful energy and seasoned experience.
I cannot say that the Indiana Fever has no enforcers anymore because I don't know if that was a criteria in their free agency, but think about everyone that they acquired. Natasha Howard, an enforcer. Sophie Cunningham, obviously an enforcer. DeWanna Bonner, she is not afraid to get chippy on that court. I think this might be bigger news than Luka Doncic going to the Lakers. Now, for the time of logic, the power forward position, as it stands now, the Indiana Fever, with the signing of DeWanna Bonner, I'm assuming they have no more cap space. This was it. Now, while DeWanna Bonner does have length, and that is 1000% something that Indiana needs, because if you think about the championship teams, they're big. They have a Jonquel Jones. They have Leonie Fevich. They have a big team, Breanna Stewart, and Indiana is not a big team considering those elements. So in that way, DeWanna Bonner was a great addition to the teams. But Amber Cox said it. They are looking for veterans with that playoff experience.
So I think as we're looking to free agency, we'll think about veterans coming in with that playoff experience.
And what did they do? They signed Natasha Howard. What did they do? They signed DeWanna Bonner. 2 veterans with playoff experience to cultivate this young team and take Indiana to the next level.
Here, bro. It said between them, they bring in a combined 155 playoff games experience with Bonner and Howard, each winning multiple championships. That kind of veteran presence was a major need for the Fever, and now they have a proven trio to help support Aaliyah Boston, Kayla Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell. Y'all can see they'll go to the big three. Now, they have a super team. Basically, they put together a super team for Kayla Clark and the Fever. This is major news, man.
They have Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull coming off the, and Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, Grace Berger, Damaris Dantas, and Katie Lou off the bench. That is their bench five. That is crazy. And then they have a choice. What I would do is, with your second round pick, take Sedona Prince. I don't care about the off the court stuff. Or if Rhea Marshall's there, you take Rhea Marshall there as a big, but if not, you take Sedona Prince for size. As the only thing they're missing is size. Take Sedona Prince. But DeWanna Bonner, this is crazy.